Steve, episode 38 of the Broadway block, coming in with 89 points, 1 point behind the Pens. We play them tonight, kick their butts Friday night, 5-1 game. Canes have 95 points. Don't know if we're going to catch them. What are you excited for tonight? How have you liked how the new people have come and joined the team? And what are you looking forward to the rest of the season?
Well, the new guys have been great. I mean, Kopp is proving, tonight with Strome out that he was a great call, adding some depth in that position because he can play the wing, he can play center. I think you're going to see him on that second pairing tonight for sure with Panarin. And who knows what happens this summer with Strome, right? So it's nice to have a little bit of insurance there. I think the back end depth has been great. Like, I love Tyler Mott. Immediately. First shift, you're like, all right, this guy's cool. 5 shifts later, you're like, this dude just brings it every single time. He's just all about that action. I love it. So he's really cool to see just kind of fitting in. Also, we talked about the offseason acquisitions and Goudreau and Reeves and just guys that just know like why they're on this roster. And I feel like Mott's a guy that exactly knows. And then on the reverse of that, you got a guy like Vetrano, who we kind of thought was going to be some like middle six role addition, but he's just jumping right in. And now that we have some injuries and some holes to fill, I mean, he's off to a great start. And I mean, so is Kopp, but to see a guy like Vetrano maybe overfulfill his role for now, it's great to see. I mean, who knows how sustainable it is, but when we get guys back like Kako, I mean, this is going to be a team that's a problem. What are you looking for?
Well, I've been really liking, like you said, with Vetrano, the adjustment. Like, he was having a pretty good season down for the Panthers. Like, he came off that great game before he came to us. So you knew he had potential, but you never know when you're clicking with new people and stuff, getting used to how they play. So that was great seeing the 2 goals the other night, him and Kreider. Been just loving that Chris Kreider goal total creep up. We're at 44 now. He's got to hit 50 this year. Got to. Can't
So
let, right? He's got to, right? He's got to get 6 more.
That would be historic and in many, many ways, but that would be unbelievable. I already can imagine just like, 10 years ago, like, or 10 years down the road, like, remember when Chris Kreider scored 50 fucking goals, dude? Just crazy. Like,
who was the last 50 goal scorer we had?
Beats me, man. Honestly,
I can't even think. Gabrick, maybe?
No, I think he was still in the 40s. Honestly, it's been a really, really long time since somebody scored that many goals. And to see, I mean, like, the thing is, it's not even for me about the goals. It's the way he's scoring them. He's scoring them in different ways now. He's shooting from the top of the slot. He's scoring on breakaways. He's
doing it with a smile. He's so happy out there. The excitement, like, you gotta love it.
Yeah, the chemistry with him and Zibanejad has just been absolutely nuts. And then, like, Mika March has just been an actual tangible thing, which is also nuts to see. But
I think I read somewhere that he had in his career, he's had 500 points just in March.
That can't be true.
I think I saw it somewhere.
Maybe he has 500 points in his career, but
I don't know. I got to check on that one, but I was like, I read that. I was like, no way. Like, but either way, it's great. Like,
he's crazy too, man. Cause like, Zibanejad starts off, we know him as the guy that can fit in with Kreider, and you got Booch on the right. And you're like, I don't know if you're like me, but you're kind of wondering, like, can they keep that up without the 3 of them there? And it's just so obvious. And that's why I feel like Kreider got that massive contract extension. It's just like, it's so obvious that there's such a vital part to this team, not only what they bring on that first line, but you see them on the bench, you see them in the locker room. Like, it's just, I feel like, again, we still have the basis of areas to improve, but watching the core like that operate at a high level, hopefully Igor gets a little bit of a rest with the back-to-back, but from then on down the stretch, I just hope to see the playoff roster.
Well, I really think it was good that we got Georgiev in there. Like, that Canes game was huge for him. Like, knowing, I think that's why we kept him at the trade deadline. Knowing we have a guy back there. We have a couple back-to-back games coming up, like tomorrow night. So you got to think that he's going to be in there against the Red Wings. So that should be good. I've really liked how Kopp has played. Thinking it's great backup to have that Strome went down. Also, this kind of helps too to see where Kopp fits in there, and also helps with us with our contract negotiations with Strome. Maybe we just move on from Strome after this if Kopp really fills in there. maybe we can like use that as a bargaining chip, like leverage wise, like, well, we have Cop back there and you came back from that injury. They don't say what the injury is. It's still a lower body one, so we don't know how long he will be out for. We're still hoping that we get Kako and Rooney back. We got our next 3 games are Red Wings tomorrow night, then we got the Isles and then the Flyers. I really hope we can prove in that Isles game that we are the better New York team this year, because that was like really a thing for us last year. So I think that would be a great hurdle to overcome before the playoffs, that we are the best team in New York and we know it. Not that there could be any doubt, but when we play them, they play us tough. So I'm looking forward to that game. Here's a question, Steve. Who do you think will play first round in the playoffs?
Man, that's tough. I feel like who do I not want to see is probably the Canes. I want to have a little bit of momentum before we play those guys. But aside from that, I don't really care. I feel like, adding to what you were saying about the Islanders, it's like just folding to these like bad teams, like the Sabres and the Devils, and kind of gritting our teeth a little bit to get the wins. But in games like the Islanders, but then you got games like the Canes and the Bolts and the Pens, and we just look like a much better team than these playoff teams. So it's like, in a way, I guess it's a good thing that we're not going to see the Devils and the Islanders and the Sabres in the playoffs. But it's pretty crazy that we're like kind of playing to the level. And I hate to harp on that point, but it's like, you get up for big games, and hopefully that's what we see tonight. But moving forward, you talk about these winnable games moving forward, like the next 3 or 4 after the Penguins. So, let's really hope that they are winnable, and that if we don't win in these games against these guys, that we can continue the success that we've had against playoff teams. So
I'm gonna say this, and I hope it doesn't shoot me in the foot. Right now, the way the Bolts are playing, I wouldn't mind playing them first round, knocking out the champs like that.
So there is a situation where we could end up as a wild card team, which is not, it'd be very Rangers to be
Drop
top
down
5,
there, yeah.
top 5 or 6 team in the league and finish in a wild card spot. But that would be interesting, because we do have a much better record against Atlantic Division teams, and even the Leafs. I feel like over 7 games we could just get the best out of them. Probably get burned a couple times with their top end, but once we figure that out, and I feel like even the Panthers, another team that could kind of
We played them tough all year.
I'm sorry?
We played them tough all year.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, it's not necessarily about I just something about the Canes, man. I don't know if it's all the ex-Rangers or what, but anybody but them for me for the first round.
An off-topic, non-Rangers point, did you see that Tom Wilson-Schmidt fight?
I did, and I like that Schmidt just sort of looked unfazed by him, like, no, come on, like I'm not.
He's getting his ass kicked, and he's still throwing up a hand there.
No, just see right before it, he just kind of stood there, like, come on, bro. Like, I like Smitty too, because I feel like everybody saw that reaction from our team last year, and you got guys like Nemeth cracking it back there, so it's like, man, maybe he was worth a keep. You really
Yeah. That's the way she goes. So I think that's all we have for today, right, Steve?
Looking forward to that game with you, man. Just secured the old Tickarooskies. Gonna be a lot of fun.
It's not this Red Wings game coming up, but it's the next one. Can't wait.
Hell yeah, man.
Fucking go.
Let's go Rangers.
Let's go Rangers.